Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another episode of the League of Inches podcast. Wednesday night, it means only one thing, Supercoach edition. The boys are so pumped to rip into this one. It's basically Boxing Day after Christmas Day last week. It's a weird one because this is the bigger one, the one that impacts everyone a lot more, but it's sort of the excitement's still there. It's bubbling away. We are very pumped. There is so much to talk about tonight, just from team lists alone, which will be hot on the agenda for us. We'll also let you know an update of where we are all at after the Vegas, what happened, any sort of late changes we did make, which we were alerted. We did alert our Legends group too. A very big added benefit of being part of that group. And we'll just go over a few of those things, but mainly, as I said, TLT is the big talking point at the moment. Some guys who everyone was pretty high on, maybe less so now, and there might be some trap cities out there at the moment. So we'll have a chat there and see what's going on. Just quickly, our Supercoach overall comp, I've left it open for just the next couple of weeks, but I just want to quickly celebrate the fact that it is our highest entry so far that we've ever done. So we've now reached over 1,300 for this overall comp, which absolutely is fantastic. So thank you.
It was only just over 900.
Ooh. Yeah, it's massive.
They're either watching, guys. If you are watching, make sure you're smashing like and commenting, adding some follows on our social media content as well, because it all does mean a massive deal for us. It's all free ways to supporting the page. And I'm telling you now, there is 1,300 in that in our overall comp. There's nowhere near that in our Legends group. So if you need to be in there to make sure you win that $500. So currently, for those that aren't part of that group, it's 250 you're walking away with if you win. You want to be making sure that's double and 500. That $449 per month is definitely worth it when you take into consideration with that and all the other exclusive content that you'll get, which from a Supercoach point of view, most of it will actually help you end up probably winning anyway. So you'll take all the advice off these two boys above me and end up walking away with the cold hard cash. So, but also, both of these boys are eligible to win this at the moment. So you're in a battle with everyone. So little late moves they might keep to themselves. But let's see what happens here. So let's go straight into where we're at, I guess, in terms of just after Vegas, boys. And quick check-in. Jesse, how's things? Oh, hang on. I'm so, all over the shop, tripping out here because Jesse's throwing us a curveball. Go and watch on YouTube for the first just couple of minutes alone, please, if you're listening on the pod. You need to check this out. It is Jesse. You may be looking at a guy thinking this is a school kid getting ready for his school photos with this nice smile that he's got going now. You can see his face. No, Jesse's a changed man. It's Supercoach season. I'll let him explain the reasons behind it, but it's even more for Supercoach reasons. Jesse, honestly, you actually look fantastic, mate. You're pulling off the no beard look, which most, when they get their beards shaven off, you just look at them and go, what has happened? You're doing wonders.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just rocking the stash. It's NRL season, inspired by my goat Herbie. It's Mo's season. So, I like it. It's weird. I have a face back, I suppose. You probably see more of it now.
Just to celebrate the Mo, does that mean you're going to put Mo Fodawaker in your team as well? I think it's only fitting.
He's in my draft team.
Oh, so. Okay. There we go. That's good enough.
I'll take it. I'll take it somewhere.
Trav, any Mo to come for yourself?
In November, yeah, for sure. You know what it looks like.
Not an early one. Not an early one.
It's no. I'm not that silly.
No, that's okay. Mate, how about Travi? You kick us off with how things are looking. I didn't even mean to do that time. That's just happened. This is we don't even call each other this sort of stuff off air either. This is the thing, guys. It's just Brent has come in after a week of podcasting and everyone's calling themselves nickname ending in Y. So
what's mine?
Yeah,
Jesse.
Jesse
E.
Classic.
Anyway, talk to us, Trav. Yeah, I guess maybe some late change you end up making, and then just where you're sitting in terms of what total points you're on and how many plays you've had play so far.
So I've got 5 plays so far. It's sitting at 378, which is not too bad. Late changes was Ponga. So got just started getting after that TLT last Tuesday, just got some really good vibes. I had Jesse in my DM sitting there going, why? talk to me about Ponga, and I literally just said, well, he's kicking, he looks healthy. Sandon Smith's at the 14. Everything sort of aligned. I just had this great feeling, so I went sewer to him. I didn't make too many other changes for what happened at Vegas, so I had Ponga, Marnie, Drinkwater, Lukey, and Mooney play. I VC Drinkwater, which I thought was my favourite option, which we did the post about, but yeah, unfortunately, that rib injury. Yeah, I mean this is Supercoach, this is NRL, eh? Like injuries happen, big hits happen, and it makes an effect. You can't read into that, can't control that. It was a good play for everyone that did it. I know lots of people did it, but yeah, it is what it is. That's where I'm going, and I'll make my captain choice much better this year. This round.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was in the Drinky VC boat as well. And as soon as I seen that rib injury very early on, I know how much they hurt the players and how much it can impact him. I knew we were in trouble. I thought he wasn't going to come back. I was surprised he actually came back after those painkilling injections. So we'll see what happens there. And I reckon next week or two we'll obviously have a big talk around Drinky and sort of what to do and plan for there. Love what we've seen from Ponga, but I unfortunately didn't own Ponga, so I'm sitting at 264 after 4 players played. Unfortunately, I have Couchman and 2, which I didn't play, so they're sitting there. And then I've got obviously Atkinson as well, who I didn't play. But Lukey, Mooney, Drinky, and Holmes were the 4 players that I've had play so far. So it's allowed me to have a little bit of room to play with some things this week with TLT news and the like. To be fair, we'll talk about it towards the end, but I haven't done that much of a change since things have happened because I feel like there is a lot of traps out there. But 264 after 4 players, I know there's a lot better out there. Could be clinging on to hope already after round 1. Jesse?
I changed a bit. Hey, a lot more than I sort of expected to be honest. And I kind of just got a bit of a Vegas rush, and I wanted a few guys that I just loved in. So my big thing, and I was so set on it too, and it's crazy that I didn't go with it. I don't have Keon or Carrigan. That was like my big thing. I took them both out. I ended up getting Carraz, and I VC'd him. So I took a flyer on him. I'm not going to loop the 99. I just don't think it's there. My captain, I still have Cleary, Yo, Fafita, Lukey. Like I still have that second row. I've just sort of shuffled my front row. So I've got Haas back up the top instead of being in my flex, and I moved Mooney into my front row because he was in my 2RF. So yeah, there wasn't too much changing there, but I did bring in Carraz, and I brought in Drinkwater. So
yeah, Ponga.
Yeah, I switched Ponga too. Sorry. Yeah, that was another thing that I did. So with that
just
discussion
leave that
with
out.
Trav, yeah, I know that's the big one, really, isn't it? Yeah. So I found the coin, basically just taking Keon and Carrigan out, relying on some cheapies, and my forwards are quite cheap again. But my second row has Herbie, Carraz, and Val Holmes with 4 cheapies, and I love that. And even with Holmes' 54, like I still like the move. But yeah, Ponga was bloody good, 116. He's in my flex now. Still have Keeney, got Drinkwater. Yeah, it was just one of those things, really. I suppose you can't do too much with it. We had a bit of a write-up in the magazine about projected, future numbers for him, and valid reasons to hold, also valid reasons to move, but definitely worth a read. But all in all, like I'm on 583 for the Vegas round. I had 8. Yeah, I had Mooney in my front row, Lukey, Purdue in my 5'8". Carraz on the 99, Val Holmes. I played Setu too as well for his 62. Yeah, it was good. The alternative was Chester, and he got 62 as well. So, splitting hairs. Drinky and Ponga with the VC on Carraz. And I was very happy. I was like, considering the loop, I had it in there too. He got rescored down like 5 points, and I was like, you know what? I just don't want to loop a 99, considering I'm going to captain Cleary anyway. So.
Tell you what, you've pulled some triggers, and most of them by both of you have been absolutely the right ones. So how good is that? If that's a projectile for how the rest of the season is going to go, top 10. Look out!
Oh, mate,
winning it,
flying. Yeah, why not?
Let's hope.
Back to the glory years. So
yeah, man.
All right, let's just rip into what I guess everyone wants to hear us talk about is the TLT, the reaction, the impact of everything as well. So first up, obviously, is the Storm versus the Eels game. So guys, we're going to tackle this more. We've already spoke about this, obviously, on a Tuesday show on the Like from an NRL point of view. This is all purely from a Supercoach point of view, so could have slightly different discussion points and the like. You might think, why are you talking about that guy, or why are you talking about that guy? Whatever it is, it's for obviously Supercoach reasons. So for the Storm boys, plenty sort of happened with this lineup. I might get, instead of going through them, I might just throw straight to either one of you to start talking about, because I reckon there's about 5 or 6 players here to really go through that's been impacted, whether positively or negatively. Jesse?
Well, for Melbourne, I think the big talking point really about everything preseason for Melbourne was the edges. Lasardi, Chan, what's going to happen? Where's Blore? I think he's injured for 2 to 3 weeks. What's looming over Blore, and does that position extend a bit further for Lasardi on that left edge? Providing whatever goes down. It's still really cloudy though. I don't know much around that whole situation, but Joe Chan and Lasardi have both been named, which is very confusing going forward, because it was one or the other really, and Blore. That was kind of the way that we were looking at it. The way that I kind of see it is Chan's on the right. Chan's probably going to stay on the right, and when Blore's back, Lasardi takes a step back off to the bench, more than likely. Either way, it's kind of shady though, because you don't really know, and Trav can stop me at any time if he knows more than I do about this. Probably does. Liero's got to come back through. Blore's got to come back through. McDonald will just go back to the bench. Liero's the 13. He'll always be the 13 for now. And then, Lasardi, who knows? Like, is there going to be minutes spelling? The bench is really light, I would say, for anything. I think they both get 80, and I think they're both going to be viable plays for at least 3 weeks. And then it's who stays in that position. But Trav, please enlighten us with any of your wisdom, Melbourne boy.
No, there isn't really, and it's a dart throw really of to what actually happens. My suggestion is, as the Storm fan here, not to go either of them and just avoid the headache that potentially is going to come. And look, you may miss out, and so be it. We just bite that bullet and say, well, it is one that we missed out on. But there's just so much unknown for 2 to 3 weeks. We don't know. Like, I did hear today that Blore's going to be that there's talk that Blore's back round 2. So if that's the case, then there's changes there. As you said, Liero's got 2 weeks off, so he's back round 3. So there's got to be some changes there. McDonald will go back to the bench, so one of them will have to probably end up sitting out. Like it's just a fair bit too much of a headache to muck around with the Supercoach. So my suggestion is don't start with either, and just wait and see after. It could be a downgrade target in 2 weeks, and that's okay, because then we'll probably have a little bit more noise, a little bit more news around what's going to happen with those two.
What I'm personally going to do anyway, because I'm kind of priced out of anything else, is I'm going to start with Lasardi. I can't get up to 300. I wish I could. I'd just go Laban or something. But I'm capped. I've got too many players that played in Vegas for me to shuffle the guys that I want to keep. I'm potentially just looking at having Lasardi for 2 weeks and then changing to Ryan Couchman before the price change, and get another look at Ryan Couchman potentially. You can't get him now. Like, he looked good. If Lasardi does get a second week, you're right there with it. At least you can kind of get a bit of a gauge on it. And then round 3, right before the change, you'll see what happens. And that's how I'm kind of approaching it, because at the moment, under that price range of 269, I think Lasardi is, there's really no one that's playing that you can still get outside of Noah Martin. And we'll get into that with the Raiders side of things in a minute, but there's not many options unless you can go up. And if you can go up, there's freaking heaps. Like, you can get to 330 and you've got 5 dudes to look at. But down, there's really nothing. So
I was in your boat as well, Jesse, because I can't get anywhere near where I want to go to get to someone else. So what I basically did was similar to you. I've gone Lasardi. I think he'll actually do well over the next couple of weeks. I'm actually going to play him this week. I actually like the play of him on the edge. So I'm going to play him. I'm a bit nervous about him being with Munster, who obviously skips around a fair bit, and it's a nightmare for his edge back row to predict what's actually going to happen. So hopefully that can work, and we see maybe a line break, offload, things like that from the side. Even a try on it. Added the question here. I'm in my head. I'm thinking I've got Byers coverage who I don't have at the moment. I've gone away from him. I went Couchman, which I was pretty happy with in the end, and what he's done. So bit of a fallback option. Hopefully, Bye can take a couple of weeks to just really start setting up, see his minutes, and what he's going to do. I think as the year goes on, Bye will just become a better and better player, both NRL wise and Supercoach wise. So I reckon having that safety blanket under Lasardi, if it does go pear shaped in the next couple of weeks, I'm comfortable with that and hoping he can get a few decent scores to start with the year to help us out.
Hopefully so. I think it would be good because he's currently my 2RF4 Lasardi. It's dire on my bench.
Yeah,
it's thin. It's thin pickings. So another one that's popped up is Moses Leo. Kind of expected, to be fair, with what's happened in the last couple of days. But Meany pushes out to the wing. Thoughts on that? Yeah. I think he's probably better on the wing.
Picking on the wing, that's an extra try. Less defensive issue, so he's not going to lose points for defense. Well, he's not going to lose as many as what he has in the past. I freaking love that. And he's on the right, and he's on the good side too for tries.
And the only winner out of the Lomax thing is probably him because he's guaranteed goal kicking now. So you get the extra couple of points from him goal kicking each and every week, well, provided he's fit. So
yeah, do you reckon he's a viable play though? His ownership's criminally low. He's goal kicking.
100% he is a viable play. Yeah. At his price, he's at a good price. He's not
same
cheap.
Price as Toto. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's not cheap, but he's not expensive either. But I think he's got upside. There's points there. You're getting him because you get a bank down of 50, 60 pretty much every week. With a try, he's going to push it 80, 90.
Yeah. Always.
Anything else to add? I think little one is Hetherington not named at all. Was a little surprise. So thought he would have at least made the extended squad. He didn't even make that. So he'd just be plugging away in Queensland Cup. They're still in. They're not in the New South Wales Cup. They're Queensland Cup, aren't they? So I think, lock it in.
Probably.
Anyway, as you both said, the bench is a little bit how you're going, so it'll be good to see who gets what minutes in the starting pack. So
I think there's going to be probably big
Cooper
minutes
Clark's
for the starters.
Bit of a watch.
Yeah, he only just got added.
I'll give you. Oh yeah, you just mentioned it. Sorry, I was just going to go. I was tunnel vision on Cooper Clark, and I didn't realize you said it. But yeah, I thought you were going to move on. Cooper Clark is someone to watch. Definitely, the dude's got. Not only does he have a great name, and Cooper goes pretty well in the Storm history, so that name isn't is stuck in folklore is what I was looking for. But yeah, this guy's a stud, and he's only a baby, but he's going to be eased through. But Jesus, I'm very high on him. I think it was posted in our Legends group at one point, asking if I knew much about him, and I did, and I do. The guy is just an absolute freak, and he's going to be a star in the making. So just watch him. I probably wouldn't start with him just because of what I said about Chan on Lasardi, and he's probably one of those ones that will get pushed out if things start to filter back down. But definitely keep him in the backward of the eye.
Yep, absolutely. I guess we can move on over then. For the Eels side of things, pretty much as expected in terms of the side named here, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think there's really any surprise. The only one is obviously Adokar injured, which means Russell does shift to the wing. Brian Kelly starts at centre, and Pezzet's named alongside Moses in the halves, which is fantastic from a cheapie point of view. In that second half slot, or some out there might be playing him. Who knows? So we'll get a taste there against his former club. Anything to touch on here, guys? I've heard a fair bit of Hopgood chat, to be honest with you, over the last 24 hours, and I'm just not completely buying it.
Not with that bench, for me. I just don't know how many minutes he gets. Like, front row Hopgood last year getting 65 minutes, averaging basically 65, is kind of what you're banking on, you know what I mean? Especially at his price of 500, or 517, I think he is. Look, if he gets 50 minutes, he's averaging more than 50. That's going to be a given. So he's still great value at his price. He's got a great dual position. Eels got a strong-looking team, man.
Well, they've got a really good bench. So
yeah, but that's the thing. Their bench looks good. Their starting lineup looks good. They've got good players in this side. The minutes rotation will be something to watch, even with DeBellin too. it's a lot of additions through the middle. And we've been saying this so many times when we've mentioned the Eels, especially doing like, team previews and that kind of stuff. I haven't got any of them in a classic sense. The Eels are none. I just don't have any of them. I don't really have room for any of them. I've got a few in draft in the middle as well that like I'm pretty keen to see how they go, and I don't think they're going to perform poorly at all by any means. But I just want to kind of see where the minute split is, because there's a lot of big minute players here through the middle that traditionally have always played, 55, 60 at least kind of thing. Something's got to give, So I'm not starting with
Yeah.
anyone in Classic. I just want to get a good look on them. But yeah, I think they'll do well.
I have Pezzett, obviously,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
and I've got the purple tag on him. But yeah, he's the only one I have interest in. I've had interest in Hopgood for ages, and then TLT came out, and I pushed him out. I don't know. Joel, you'll fix this a bit better, but Jack de Belin probably gets rested for Walker. Then Jack de Belin comes on back through the forwards. Walker stays in that 13, and then that means Hopgood probably gets rested, as well as Junior Paul. Like, it's just a little bit of a mess in terms of Supercoach. It's great for the team, but in terms of Supercoach and for what we have, yeah, I don't like it. And the team's loaded, man. Like, off the bench, you've got Tuivasa, Duary, Tuolangi. Like,
Yeah.
the team is low. And then sitting on the bench, sitting in the reserves, you've still got Geimer. Like, there's just too much there. So I don't suggest that you do anything with Hopgood. And the other thing too that turned me off was the early Eels draw. So this away game against the Storm, and anything could happen. It's first round, but then they got Broncos, Dragons, and then Panthers. So the first 4, and 3 of those games are away. So I'm just not. I'm just avoiding Para at the moment in a Supercoach sense.
3 top 4 teams from last year as well. So it's not an easy start, first month anyway, for the Eels, especially a lot of those are away.
I will be interested to see how de Belin goes against the Dragons, but
yeah,
because the Dragons were gritty in that first game, they played really well. They just keep the Dogs where they were. Really defensive, solid, like really, really structured. There's going to be some blood there, man. Like I'm very keen for that game personally.
Yeah.
So
the other thing I've heard a few people talk about the last day or two on podcasts and stuff, and in chats and that about Hopgood is potentially getting a stint in at lock. It just won't happen in my eyes. We want Walker there to play, I think, at least 55 or so coming off the bench, and then de Belin's second stint will probably be at prop, and it might be him and Parlo to sort of end the game and make sure things are tight through the middle. So yeah, I don't see much happening there with Hopgood. It's a huge minute watch. No doubt if it looks great, but I just can't see him getting the minutes that we need him to get to make him a viable option anymore regarding Super. He'll need a couple of injuries, and then for sure he'll become a huge talking point. I'm sure that we'll cover it when it happens. But yeah, just one quick one, boys. I just want to bring him back. I just want to touch the surface with him. I'm still looking at Bailey Simonson and going, I think there's just something there. I don't know what's dragging me to him every time.
I said I'm looking at Dominic Young, and there's something there, and I got laughed at.
Yeah,
he got 95 points. Okay, I think you might be. Like, it could be, man. He's better on the wing. Stats back it. This and
He's
that.
the only winger at the moment as well, because no Lomax, no Addo Carr. Russell's been a centre for the last almost year and a half. I think there's a little bit going for Simons. If anyone out there has the balls for it, off you go.
Draft play.
I've got him in a draft or two, and I'm eagerly looking forward to that little play. But anyway, let's move on from that game. Anything else to add in that game, boys, before we move on? Anything we've missed? We're good?
Nope.
Let's go. Warriors against the Roosters. So for the Warriors, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak keeps Lafia Campiera out of the side, retains his wing spot. Really, from a Supercoach point of view, though, it's good to notice that Harris Tafita, he's back, even though there's a lot of talk about his injury. But I guess we'll start. The huge talking point here is, I guess, the edge back rowers, boys. It's Capewell and Laban will start. Halassim is coming off the bench. Laban looks to me, I feel like there's a bit of Trap City here. Don't know if you guys are feeling the same, but I'm feeling Trap City.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah,
I think so. He's in my team at the moment, but I think I'll have him out. To me, like, you've got a future superstar in Halasima sitting on the bench. I feel like this is just let's just rest you through, ease you into the year, and then we'll just let you explode around Origin time. Niokora is still not there. Mitch Barnett's still to come. There's a lot of shuffling to happen in the first few weeks. That is definite trap city for a player who's actually very good. Laban is a really good player, but yeah, they're loaded around their pack and their edges, the Wars. So yeah, I'm getting him out.
The other one, and I've completely fit his name, messages the page a couple of times. We've got two people that do it. They keep warning me that they're passionate Warriors fans and things like that. Morgan Gannon as well. They keep telling me that he's someone to continue to watch. They predict by about round 10, he will be firmly making his way into this side, and it'll be almost impossible to keep him out. So keep an eye on that. He's on that 6-man bench already. They're anticipating him to just keep creeping himself into that starting 13, which is just another one for them to add into this crazy forward rotation, really, Jesse.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and it was quite confusing too. Like Halassim is a monster. I don't know why they would have to think about easing him into the year, considering what he'd done last year. Just it sort of baffles me unless they're just giving Laban the opportunity, because it feels like Laban's been there for years, just on the fringes of getting a start. And why not just run Laban and Halasima together? Like the persistence with Capewell, it never seems to stop. Again, Capewell is the first person to move out of that position and cover somewhere else if anything happens in the back line or a centre goes down or any of that kind of stuff. With the 6-man bench, maybe things change until Picky's the guy that does that now. So there's not as much reliance on Capewell. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely going to be a start for him at some point of the year, but I was really hopeful for it to start with because I drafted him too.
Me too.
And it's a bit of a shame, but yeah, we'll still see him be massive. Same as Dimitrik too. Like he really did well through the middle last year. They're just massive units. But yeah, to Trav's point, like they're missing a few more players, and they already have this set up. Like there's some good stuff happening to the point where even new signings like Khan Pereira don't even get a start. He was one of the if not the top try scorer, he's top 3 every year, and he is with the Titans. So yeah, there's a wealth of talent there. There's lots of shuffle. I don't know where he would fit. And that was kind of the preseason discussion on the Warriors backline is where do you fit Khan Pereira when their team, especially 1 to 5, kind of looks how it does. And there's all this talk about moving Chance out and putting him in the centres to get Torpiki in the team. It's like, well, if you move him out, then you've got to drop either Pompey or Leia Tower, and they're both great. So yeah, the Warriors have a really good
got
problem.
to come back as well. He normally walks his way into this team whenever he's fit. So there's a lot of pieces to fit into this back. Yeah, 100%. He's a gun. And then if they ever pull the trigger on Tuapiki, then Charnsley has to come into probably centre as well. So there is a lot to happen in this Warriors back line. Just quick on Halasima as well. Like I do have him in draft as well. Only thing I'm holding on to hope here, Jesse, and hopefully we're in this together, the fact that even with 50 minutes, he could cause destruction. He can score pretty well coming off the bench and just making a huge impact.
Massive. He's so damaging, man. And if he's going to be coming on through the middle, in particular, or if he goes and spells an edge and Laban plays 60, and then there's some sort of forward rotation where he ends up playing 50 to 60 as well through both, he'll still get that score that you want. He's priced at 500. I still feel like he hits it pretty well. It's just what you can get out of him if he really gets that full 80 minutes because, yeah, he's a wrecking ball, man. There's points there.
Lecker the wrecker.
Absolutely. The Roosters, full strength backline, no surprises there at all. DCE gets the 6 jersey, as we all seen with their social media pictures about a month ago. They did not try and hide that, which is fair play to them. I like that. No playing games. Big one, Iolu has been named at hooker, Watson on the bench, and Blake Steep at lock. So keep an eye on that one. He seems like a bit of a base stats sort of monster. Can get some things done. All he needs is the minutes and to have some really good minutes early while Radley's out suspended, Jesse. And he could quickly become one of those guys that many people are getting in by like round 3 to get on board the cash, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Blake Steep's a goer, man. I feel like for me anyway, he's going to be probably one of those dudes that gets away with everything happening because of how fast it will happen. But there's a lot of things in this team that I'm really actually liking. 1 to 7 is exactly as we expected. I don't think that's much going on there. I did see some stuff that Robertson was coming out saying that Tedesco, Walker, and Cherry Evans will play some sort of 3-way hybrid role with each other, and it kind of has me a little bit sort of going, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Because I want to see what happens here. Like, what kind of dynamic does it leave, especially for Tedesco of all?
Do you
If you
reckon?
just
Just quickly on that. Do you reckon he's saying that just to be like a coach, and a coach sort of publicly has to? So
For
he's got
sure.
three guys that are basically wanting control of this football team. I think everyone out there knows it now. It's now Walker's time to do so. He may be trying to save face with the two experienced guys to go, oh look, in public,
yeah.
here we go. But surely, even just watching the trials that we watched when they played full strength, this is now Walker's team. Like the other
Yeah.
two have to basically just step into line and go, now it is time to start planning for the future, for time that we leave this club. Walker's time is now.
Yeah, I think they're kind of recognizing that already. Like Walker's got the keys, man. Like especially after coming back through last year and what they did, even the season before, with Kiri there too. Like how much Walker was doing and what he's sort of developed into. It's definitely his. And Tedesco and Cherry Evans are a pretty great experienced pair to kind of just lead him in that direction. So I think it's more so just press conference jibber jabber. But I reckon Iowelu gets the full 80 here, if not 70.
Really?
I do. I really do. I think Watson's still going to come through as a lock. Just looking at it, the
Wow.
way that I see it, I reckon he does. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if 70. Call it 70 to be a bit more, liberal. I don't think he plays any less than that, looking at the
He's a
way this sort of
guns.
looks. Yeah, man, why not? Like, you've got him there. You know what's going to happen. Robson's going to come back. The whole point of it was like, Watson didn't train at 9 at all, and obviously can do it. But if they're going to give it to Steep, then I just think he's going to spell him. And that'll be how that kind of works. What I do love is Nat Butcher on the edge. I hate it for Wong, and I really want Wong to get it, but Butcher is a monster, man. Like going back years and years gone by, and every time I see Nat Butcher starting on an edge, freak Supercoach monster. Honestly, 420 odd K, I think 424 off the top of my head. He's going to average 65 at the minimum in that position. Just a weapon. A great purchase, but still question marks to me. How long is it going to happen for? He can find the most random injury ever. I think he was out for a majority of last seasons in his patches with a staph infection too. So there was just strange things that happened, but I really like that position for him. The rest of the bench is kind of, Egan Butcher seems to find his way in all the time. Cody Ramsey, just, for good vibes as well with the 6-man bench. I'll take it. Yeah.
Get him in there. How good? What a good story that is. Trav, does that mean IOL is a play? Do you think he's a buy? If the fact that looking at the latest injury reports, Robson's not due back until about round 6 or 7 or so.
Yeah.
I have heard little rumblings that maybe earlier. He might be recovering a bit earlier than the schedule is putting out. But I don't know if most teams don't really rush their players this time of year. There's no real point. It's only downside, in my opinion. Is Iowelu, is he a play? Everyone's trying to find Brandon Smith replacements.
He's a buy.
Roosters have the round 4 bye. And then Robson is, so at minimum he's back after that. If he does come back early, which I don't think he does, you'll have him for a 3-week play. I think based off that 3-week play, he's going to score pretty well. But are you really going to play a backup hooker? Like I don't think you are. So like even then, if he does, I think it's just one of those. For me, I'm just going to watch and sit back, and if he starts scoring, I'll wave happily and say sorry, I missed you. But I do think he's a freak. But no, I don't actually think in my opinion he is a buy.
I have him. I went cheese up to him. I did have Going there. Obviously, Going's named, but I went cheese up with a bit of coin extra after all those moves that I did. And the plan really is to just get him, run him for 4 weeks, get maybe 100K out of him, maybe 80K, something like that. Just go to cheese and just go back down to it when he's fit and just bank some coin, really, when Robson's back. That's kind of what it is. It's a 4-week investment to make maybe 80 to 100K, and just a downgrade in the future. You know what I mean? And even still, you don't have to do it immediately as well. If he does go bang, like, we saw Crossland get a mid-60s score and he's 380. If he can get something in the mid-200s, his break-even is going to be low for at least 4 to 5 weeks. If you want to get that last cash rise on the bench for him before switching to cheese on his price week, there's an option there. So I'm just looking at it that way. I could just, you can just start with someone cheaper, or you can start with cheese and ride it out. But if you can just make a little bit of coin for nothing now, I don't see the harm in it. but I'm not going to reserve him in any of those weeks.
Do it. Go on,
Nah.
play him.
Not yet. Not yet.
Let's go to the potential game of the round. A huge blockbusting Friday night fixture. Cannot wait for this one. Broncos against the Panthers. So for the Broncos, again, Krzyzewski's there named it on the edge. So I feel like we've seen this 12 months ago. A bit of deja vu happening right at the moment.
I saw it for 27 rounds. He sat on in my 2RF6 for 27 rounds.
It was your Royce Hunt. So there we go. We all had one of those players last year. That's massive. I don't think we even need to say that. That's trap vibes in itself, because looking at the injury report, we've updated that on our magazine this week, guys, as well, available at the Legends group. Piakura is back around 3 at this stage. So he's in there for probably 2 weeks, if that. And by all reports, apparently Tawa was training on the edge for a lot of the preseason and was killing it. So there's not even a guarantee he plays the full 80 either. Like this realistic could, because Ricky, in my opinion, will be the 80-minute guy. There's no one out there to guarantee the fact that Goz plays the full 80 either, Trev.
I don't think he does. Honestly, I don't. You got the looking at that bench, he's definitely going to sit off for that, and there'll be a big rotation through.
Why are we talking about Krzyzewski like this?
Is the only talking point out of this Broncos side, isn't it? From a Supercoach point of view.
Yeah, look.
I mean, do you start with Reece Walsh? Does Katoni Staggs have another few points in him? Shibasaki, word is that they're looking at trying to re-sign him for the first time. I saw the first bit of news, Joel, that I have in 18 months about Shibasaki today. So insane. I think Ezra Mam's a great play at 5'8", if you can find a way to do it. Payne Haas, clearly, as we put in our magazine, is a base 65. I think you'd be silly not to start with him. And
Captaincy shout.
And then yes. And then I think Carrigan's a great play with the duel. However, when Tino got the duel today, I thought, well, I definitely would rather the 50 extra K into Tino and swap that around. But yeah, Carrigan's definitely a play. So there you go. That's a quick one for the Broncos.
That's it, hey. It's such a settled team. You don't really need to do too much. They're going to play well. It's going to be a big game, but you just go over to the other side.
100%.
And then they look, pretty much like Penrith, too. It's kind of just like it's almost anticlimactic that both of these teams, it's such a massive game, and they're both exactly kind of how you would expect them. So,
apart from Cleary stopped his mind games with Alamotti, he's actually gone, you know what, you are one of our better wingers, so you can start. So shout out to him.
Yeah, but I'm hearing, okay, look, all right, I'm hearing a little bit of chatter that Tungo's out, Alamotti centre, Jenkins is in. Something to keep an eye on. I have no verifiable sources, nothing cemented, but there's just been Penrith people just going, this is going to happen. And I'm like, all right.
Better.
So do I. I really think it's probably a good thing for him too.
Jenkins like Alamotti on the wing more than in centres.
He's just a wombat though.
Yeah, he can.
Like Jenkins isn't a big body.
I still prefer Alamotti on the wing than in the centres.
Either way, that's a really good problem to have too.
Yeah.
The fact that you're not getting.
But the other centre over there, Casey McLean, I think is ready to explode, and I'm looking at trying to get him in my team at some point.
Yeah, for sure. After the run sort of eases a little, but he just went ballistic at the end of the year. Might be a good time for it. Luke Garner on the edge.
Got him into draft today, so fingers crossed he can stay there.
Yeah. Freaking iPad, man. I just want this so bad.
Do you want to have a moment's silence for iPad again, mate? You've been crushed.
Oh, look, it is what it is. It's going to keep happening, I think.
Eventually, you'll realise that he's not that good.
That's fantastic. I'll take him off the 55-minute bench roll.
How many more times do you need to see him get shafted, get shifted, get dropped, get put to the bench? Like, till you realise, Jesse.
2 more seasons worth.
That Penrith team is loaded full of talent. I think with all the new all the new base numbers, and then even just watching what happened at Vegas for the uplift in some of the points.
Mm.
Watching, I'm very afraid of what Yo's going to do, and so that really scares me not owning him anymore. But I think he's a wonderful play. I think Cleary is probably one of my favourite captain choices, and would love to get it, but I just can't afford him. Um, yeah, like, and to be fair, Jesse, they named your man K Going at 17.
They did, yes. My favourite Nuff is now named.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah, but they also got Freddie Lussick in there too. Like, how many bench hookers do they want to have?
Going's not a hooker anymore. He's been playing on the edge for him. So if anything, he'll come on and play a 15-minute stint.
Well, they've got another bloody edge on their bench, and they should be playing him to start.
He's a middle now.
No, he's
Sorry, mate. He's turned into a middle.
not. Fair enough.
He's turned
That's
into
fine. He'll just be a front rower next year too. He'll just be a front rower. He won't even have a 2RF. Anyway.
He'll do something. Anyway, let's move on to the Sharkies v the Titans. So Stone Street does win that vacant wing spot, which no real surprise, I think, to anyone out there. Nakora's back with Burns on the edge, and Calhoun does get that lock spot. But I look at the bench, boys, and it has me slightly worried now because it is just forward city. You look at them, it's just heavy.
Every one of them.
I don't know what minutes Calhoun now gets. I'm a little bit nervous if I was a Calhoun owner, which I am no longer.
I reckon 40 to 45. Sort of tops, you know.
As a max, yeah. I don't think that's...
Yeah.
I think that's even that's hopeful.
That's what I'm thinking too. And like going off what we've said, you know, every time that we mentioned Calhoun and queried why his ownership was so high, his numbers aren't there. Even base stat wise, if he was a 1.2 kind of guy, you think, you know, 40, you can kind of make some coin. He's at 330. It's going to be a slow burn anyway. And McInnes will be a month or two, however long, maybe longer. Yeah, I don't love it at all. I really don't. And I just think at 0.8 or so ppm in that position, maybe 0.9, it's just not worth it. Like, it's really not. It's not with all the, you know, other 300 odd Ks that we've got pop up. Outside of that, Billy Burns starts on the edge. Wilton's still a little injured, I believe. Billy Burns always does pretty good too. I think he's a nice draft pickup. Yeah, what a settled team, as always.
He just hangs around old Billy Burns, doesn't he? He just that guy that just won't go away. And then when he does get a chance, he actually kills it. So
brains it. Yeah. Honestly, he does. He goes hard. So
there you go. Let's go to the Titans, because I feel like the Titans have a fair few talking points here. So Farmani obviously gets that wing spot. That was a fantastic video the Titans did put up midway through the week about him getting that debut. And geez, he's a big boy, isn't he? Those Warwick Farms on him.
When he crossed his arms and then wiped his face, I was like, "Holy Jesus, you are a big boy!"
Yeah, man.
I tell you, I wouldn't want to be Josh Hannay if midway through the year he has to drop him. I'm like, nah, you can stay. You're good.
Yeah.
It's all good about that 30 tries you let him. You play.
Terrifying.
What else? We got obviously Lockie Ilias comes into the halfback spot with Campbell out for about that 3 to 4 week mark, depending on how that hamstring recovers. Tino confirmed named a prop to allow Chris Randall to come on to lock. But the big talking point here, I guess, is Arama Howe has come onto the starting edge spot, and Paxton, who apparently was supposed to get it, Joshy Paxton, is in the 22 jersey. So he is on the extended bench, but mail is that he won't be getting in that 6-man bench. So it looks like it is Howe's spot. And Cooper Bye, another favourite in the Supercoach land, is on the bench. Jesse, talk to us. This I'm starting to feel like I got every time I look at my Supercoach team, I have more Titans players, and it's starting to scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, well, I feel like we had 6 to begin with, so you know, you're
Now
just
more.
rotating. What, you got more in now?
Actually, no. Howe's gone for it. They've actually been a direct swap, so no, it's okay.
There you go. So you have Howe in your team.
Yeah, I've gone him.
Yeah. Look,
Jewel.
I don't mind it. It's Jewel. It's 235. I'm pretty sure, not 201. And he's starting. It's like, well, geez, everything kind of makes sense to have him as a play. But for how long? You know, like it's confusing. It was all reports, Paxton. Howe has a great preseason. He gets the spot. Fair enough. You know what I mean? But does that stay? Is he on watch now? Does he slip up and then it goes to Paxton for a run? And yeah, I don't know. I'm just not. If it was one and it was kind of just Paxton because that was expectation, yes, I love that play. Now that it's not, I'm thinking, well, is there something going to change here? Like it was the whole McEwen and Cant thing, Cant in the preseason, McEwen starts, and all of a sudden it's this. So I like the price. I think it's low risk. You can do anything you want with it, really. You can get him in both positions and then just go sideways to someone else that's cheap, that's made coin. You can't really go wrong. I just don't think you're going to play him.
Is
Um,
there any reservation around the fact that Fermor got pushed to the 12, so the opposite side than what he had last year, and then it's just a bit of a play around with who actually gets that spot?
well, Fermor was playing on the
He was playing the 11.
left. Yeah, he was playing on the left, outside of Brimson, wasn't it? Because that's what Fafita wanted, the 11, and he said
Yeah,
no.
that's right.
Yep.
And because Fermor locked it. Now, Fermor this year has been shifted to the 12, so the opposite side, and Howe's come in, but that was all the talk was Paxton. So do you think there's a little bit of a... to me, it just tells me that there's a bit of a indecisiveness and something I just don't want to muck around with, and I don't want to play with a trade. I don't want to get stuck with somebody like that after 1 or 2 weeks. And obviously,
Yeah.
hindsight's a wonderful thing. And we sit here in week 3 and go, oh, I wish I had done that, or I wish I didn't do that. But I don't know. This is a story where I think I'll watch, and if it doesn't work out, I'll trade him in. Sorry, if it works out, I'll trade him in, but I don't want to have him in and then get stuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to buy him, even at 300k as a locked in, near 80 odd minute starting edge dual position player. I think that's very valuable, and I think you can allow a price change or two if you have other things to do that are more important. It'll kind of just beg to see how big of a role and what he does in that side, or if they just focus on Fermor like they should. So yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on and watch. A lot of middles on the bench though, so I
That's what
don't
I
see
was.
him getting full
That's
minutes.
that's what made me a bit confident with it, because I feel like if Paxton it was literally a neck and neck race, you'd have Paxton on the bench, and if Howe's game's not going quite where you want it to during a game, you'd basically just make the change. It would be a direct swap. There's 4 middles and 2 playmakers on the bench here for the Titans, so there's got to be some confidence put in here to Howe and what he's done. It just made it interesting why they didn't do this in the preseason was all, like the trials. It just makes it a little bit interesting
He
why
played
Paxton
well.
was, but like
How?
Paxton was given the spot, it felt like, and now like it's happened now. So I do get the fact that it's probably a gamble, but I also feel like there's about 3 or 4 guys at the moment that there's a gamble on, and I feel like at the moment we've got to take a chance on at least one of them, and this is my chance. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But again, I could go sideways just to buy, and that's a cover there. I've left buy out of my team for now to be that Mr. sort of fix-it guy, hopefully, if something does go array over the next couple of weeks.
Well, that's the thing. Like they're the same price, except one of them's starting.
Yeah.
With what we don't know could be a full 80-minute role. When you look at 2 guys in the same team for the same price, and one's a dual position with a green tick, and the other one's not, it's like, well, you take the guy with the green tick. And if it doesn't work out, you just get the other guy. I just think Bai at some point will have a major role in this team. I've got him in my side. I'm not opposed to switching over to Howe and then going to Bai potentially later on, because if it all plays out how it should, Howe's going to have much more of a price increase in 3 weeks than Cooper Bai will.
Yeah.
Just looking at the numbers of it all. So yeah, I'm just going to look though. Honestly, I just think I'll just play and just keep an eye on how it looks, and if he gets it long term, happy days. It's another cheapie jewel. It's really, really, really handy. And another jewel, Tino got jewel today. Huge.
Hallelujah! There's a rugby.
So it's always
there's a
coming.
Supercoach God.
Yeah, it was always coming. Fantastic option. Funnily enough, gets a down tick with the new scoring system from last year. Beats me how. Goes down 1 point in his average. Just wonder why. I want to see why. It's Tino's so busy. How can he go backwards in stats? But yeah, I think he's a fantastic buy. I don't have him. I'm terrified of not. I have Yo. I think for the 80k difference, they'll do a very similar thing, but a very similar thing is a very good thing, and I really want Tino. So, yeah, there's a lot more options now that he's a front rower. If Mooney wasn't in my front row, I'd probably work out something to do there.
He's one of the only players that haven't left my team from my original team that I made. I'm still riding him. He's still my first 2RF player, and I'll just continue to sit in there. Just a quick side note here, boys. No Jaden Campbell. Are we about to see Keanu Keeney goal kicking?
Nah, I reckon Ilias.
No, it's Ilias.
Yeah.
Didn't it say, he said today it was Ilias?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think something came out. I think I saw somewhere today that that it's Lockie Ilias.
Spewing. I thought it was going to be between him or Fermor, and I was thinking, hello, Keeney
Fermor
time
can kick
goal
too.
kicking.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can he kick,
Yeah.
Kenny?
Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him kick before.
Yeah. No, he can goal kick. He's
Could you imagine that? Oh, Fermor, 3 weeks in the centres, get us the jewel back, get goal kicking. He'd average 80.
Straight into your sides, please. All right, let's get over to the Jamal Fogarty Cup, everyone is calling it. So let's get on board with it. The Fogs Express. Sea Eagles versus the Raiders. The All-Star backline, I guess, for Manly's back. We'll see how they can go, which is getting fed at fullback by Tommy Turbo. Firstly, just on him, guys, because really there's not much to talk about when it comes to Manly, because Paseka's name, so obviously just, I reckon in my opinion, just get him in. Paseka's one of those guys, just sit him in your 3, and it's just a no-brainer. Just watch him continuing to improve. I feel like he's going to get 2 stints. It's almost a given. Their forward stocks are just very short. They need Paseka to be fit and firing, which it looks like he is. But just, a little Turbo discussion here, boys, because it feels like he's starting to gather a little bit of momentum on social media world. I think people are seeing the Ponga game, obviously, and thinking, oh, hang on, some of these ex-guns that we had and have been scarred about 70,000 times by, might be another player, and they might be back. We're getting the vibes from Turbo.
Yeah.
I'm getting good vibes, but no, he's not in my team, and I'm not doing it.
I'm on the no.
Yeah.
He's not in my team. I think you just got to look at, he's on a bye next week as well. He's on a bye in round 3. Sorry, it's the Dogs next week. I want to see him. I really do. I just think, you can allow that. You can really do it. It's not like he's 100K more than Ponga is, or just shy of. So, a 70-odd average for him, it's very easy to do. He can double that on a good day. I just think, you're going to not get a price rise until round 4 anyway. So watch weeks 1, 2. If Turbo looks insane, which was the same, valid thing we sort of made for Ponga before backflipping and getting him both anyway, just see how he looks. If Turbo genuinely looks that good with this kind of team and the way things are working around him as the captain and all that kind of stuff, I could be very well tempted to go him, because from Drinky to him, you bank 90K too. So there's moves at hand to play, and I think do yourself the favour and just watch him, unless you've got some massive nuts and you want to play the game at 4 Pines and get those 2 4 Pines games in, because his average is immense there anyway. For me, I'm just going to enjoy Turbo, like I said, and I can be swayed to buy him.
And I know that at some point I'll probably buy him and he'll get injured that round. And I'll be like, yep, that's okay. It's Turbo. I'll live with it.
That's why we do it.
I did it.
Turbo roulette. We love to play it every year.
Great.
We get sucked in at least twice. At least twice, it feels like we get burnt by him. Just
do you know
quickly
who my
on
favourite
Jake
player on the
Simpkin.
Manly? Sorry, Joel. Do you know who my favourite player is on Manly that I really want to get in my team?
Bullymore.
Bullimore.
I do. I mean, I think he should be the captain, but no. No, I want bloody Cooler.
Oh,
Get him.
The dude's a freak. No, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
But I
tricky.
want him so much. I think he's ready to explode. Yeah, he just re-signed. Here's a guy who's just going to absolutely go bonkers. And in a team that I think's going to struggle, it's going to be so much through him. He's going to roam a little bit more, even though I know that Turbo will do it. I'm just so high on this guy. I think he's just full of talent. I can't wait to see what he does. And I'll be trying to get him in my team at some point early, I think, because they've got a good run.
Yeah, the run is good.
Just quickly on Jake Simpkin as well. Just looking at the bench, so Joey Walsh and Brendan Wakeham are both named on this six-man bench. So keep an eye on things. I keep hearing just whispers, and take it with a grain of salt, but Lukey Brooks to hooker at stages in games. So I keep sort of hearing, or shifted out Joey Walsh into the six. So just keep an eye on that, because I think those that are getting Jake Simpkin in the hope that he's an 80-minute hooker, it might not last as long as a lot of people are hoping for. So just keep an eye on that as a huge minute watch. But for now, looks like he potentially does, but I just don't like two playmakers on that bench for him. That's all. A little bit of worry.
Agreed.
Little.
Good call.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll tell you what, a team to talk about. Ricky Stewart. We thought he was basically, when it came to trials, basically just not effing around with anything and just went F the trials, basically. It seems like he was actually taking the trials somewhat seriously, because some of these guys who we thought were place getters actually have been named, and look at them go. So Ricky Stewart respects trials by the looks of things, and he has not stuffed around, because look, there is mixed reports about some of these players, what's happening, whether Tomoko's dropped or he's hurt, whether Nicholson's dropped or he's hurt with that shoulder issue. But at the moment, from a Supercoach point of view, Sasangi's named at centre. Sanders has confirmed he is in that halfback jersey, and apparently there's some really good reports coming out of the Raiders. Brayley on the bench ahead of Owen Paddy. So you'd assume he will get some decent minutes into eating into Starling's time. Noah Martin on the edge, which means Hosking is on the bench, and no Matty Nicholson, who has been told he will be, if he is fit, he will be playing Cup this week.
Yep.
Talk to me. Yes.
Lots to unpack. I'm pretty sure Tomoko's going to be playing Cup with him as well. Just coming off that, because he was in a moon boot for quite a while in the preseason. So, yeah. Noah Martin, second row. He's won that spot on merit, according to Timmy Williams. So, that's a good thing. Very good thing. I was kind of just expecting Nicholson to have the position. Obviously, he's not fit for it. I never, ever speculated once that Hosking was going to get that edge position back. He's an out-and-out middle. To a lot of arguments, actually, with some friends of mine in a draft that were like, you're mad. Hosking is clearly the best second rower. And I'm like, yeah, well, he's clearly not.
Shout out Gidley gang.
Yeah, good one, Gidleys. You're all wrong. Other than that, yeah, look, Sasangi as well in the centers. Pretty good. Like, he's got a great record in the centers too. He played 4 games there last year, averaged 74 just in the centers alone. So I think he's 400k. He's a dual now, 2RF CTW. Really nice spot. Really nice spot to be in. So he'll be someone that I'll keep an eye on, definitely at some point this year, maybe as a downgrade or a dual position, something somewhere. I just can't get him in to start with. But if he that's the thing. You do have to expect him to just go to the bench, I would say, when Tomoko's back, and then it's all in the air again, you know.
I'll tell you one person who's been just under the radar massively, I feel like at the moment. We were pretty high on him in our Canberra Raiders preview. Tamale, named on his preferred wing, so he's going to obviously work his ass off. We know that from last year. He's good for a few tries as well. I have my eyes once again firmly set on Tamale and watching very closely.
Yeah, it's a hard one not to start with, eh? There's a really big center wing roulette. And we're going to sit there and go, oh, geez, I'm glad I got him. Oh, man, I missed out on that, but I'm glad I got him still. Like, we're going to sit there and say that for, I feel like 12 players, and we can only have 4 of them. It's just insane. So, well, four on the field. But, yeah, like, Tamale's a freak. He's going to be a freak. It's just, you just can't have every one of them. You just cannot.
That's the problem. There's too many good bloody center wing options now. Genuinely, there's like 30 people you can run viably in your team, and you can only pick so many, and half of them are cheapies. So,
damn it.
Yeah, outside of that, man, Raiders.
Yeah. Anything else to add, Trav?
Not really. Like, unfortunately, this Raiders team's loaded, and there's players still to come back in. I think to me, it's just watch Noah Martin. I get it. Like, he's starting, he's named, but Holy moly! Like, yeah, okay, he's won it on merit. He was in the team of the year last year for the Rezzies, and like that. I get it, but you've got Hoskins sitting there, although he's going to go through the middle as he should. Mariota, Smithies, like then you've got bloody Nicholson. Like, there's so many players that can just go through
Sasangi.
this list.
Yeah,
Yeah, with it,
that
yeah.
too.
Like, and Tomoko comes back. Sasangi probably moves back into the forwards, and then Tomoko goes into that centers. So it's just as good as they are. I think for Supercoach purposes, I just wait and watch Noah Martin. I think the only forward I want to get in the Raiders is Young, and he's
Yeah.
expensive.
Oh yeah.
I'll
And
be
then
absolutely
eventually,
shocked if Noah Martin plays more first grade starting games than either Nicholson or Sasangi at this stage on that edge spot. I would be shocked at the end of the year if we're back here talking and going, holy crap, Noah Martin was just that guy. I
yeah,
don't see it.
Yeah,
give it
same.
2-3
I agree.
weeks, and if it looks like it, far out, why not? Because he's got a
Yeah.
great. I think he played one game for 80 minutes last year, and he scored 87
Mm.
Oh, is that the
in a
last
We
second
game
got
row.
against the
Yeah,
Dolphins? Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
And we got boosts. Like, so at some point you're going to be able to make a lot of trades, and you've got more than one. So you can make a few weeks worth of boosts. So some of these guys are coming off buys early and stuff. So that the way that it's patterning playing out, you can just wait and see with a few of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. Let's get over to the Sunday game, last game of the round, Dolphins against the Rabbidos. So we've got Cobbo has been named on the wing, no centre for him. I love that outside of Herbie Farnworth. Another in this big centre wing roulette we continue to talk about. If you have him, you're happy at the moment, I reckon. You've also got Gilbert and Flegler starting in the front row and Morgan Knowles at lock. And the bench guys, to be honest with you, when we're talking forwards and these guys' minutes and things like that, all of a sudden the Dolphins have been hit with an injury bug, it feels like, because some of these guys like Flegler looks like they're all of a sudden some really good players because the likes of, just quickly go through them, again, it's on our magazine, guys. Francis Moller suspended until round 4. Saifidi was supposed to be back this week, but apparently it still takes him another couple of weeks to get this shoulder completely healed, ready to go. Maxi Play, he's in Q Cup this week, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be not till round 4, but he's in Q Cup. Interesting times there. And then obviously Jeremy Marshall King not back till round 4, which will then push the likes of Donahue back into potentially a forward rotation role when Marshall King returns. So there is a little bit to play out here in this Dolphins pack, guys. And at least for the first few weeks, it looks like players like Flegler could be a really good buy.
He's a great buy already.
Yeah.
He's my favourite of all of them, to be honest. Even still, like, I would go Flegler, Paseka. It's kind of muddy after that, you know what I mean? Especially Calhoun's dropped away pretty far. I think Flegler's the biggest beneficiary of all this. Don't know if they're going to ease him into it at all. I just don't know how they could. I don't know who they're going to play.
With that bench.
No, you
Unless
can't just.
unless it's Kafusi that comes through there and rests him majorly, which is probably the call. But that they've only got Oren Keeley there.
Yeah, that's it.
And
Like,
I
he's
think
an
Wolf
edge back
said
row.
a few weeks ago that he wanted to ease him off the bench to start with, but now this suspension to Molo's just completely stuffed those plans. So
Yeah, just
he's
give him.
almost has his hand had
What's
his
Molo's-
hand forced.
How long's he suspended for?
Round 4, he's back.
Yeah, see, bloody hell. Like,
They
they
need
have to.
Plath back soon.
It scares me though. Does it not scare you with his injury history? And now he's going to have to. And it sounds like, and it looks like, everything screams like he's going to be playing some decent minutes. I don't know. Like, it as good as that sounds, and I think as great as a buy, there's also some beware.
Yeah, of course there is. Like, it was such an innocuous injury, and it was nerves and that kind of thing. You can't, like, one tackle in the weird position, and every time he goes in for a tackle, I'm going to be like wincing for him, and that's just, it's not a good place to be. And I think they would have to realize what they're going to put him in a position to do, and he's got to be right, man. Like, he's got to be picture perfect for them to look at this 2-man forward bench that they've got and go, you know what, Flegler's probably going to play 60 minutes in his first game back without him being bang on. So, yeah.
To be fair, I'll be wincing this whole game because he's going to be taking on Keon Koloamatangi.
Fuck that.
And for feeder.
And Murray.
Yeah.
It's just, God, that sucks. Some heavy hitters. But
So
outside of that, no, he's a big unit. Far out. That
Fuller's
sucks
on the
for him.
bench. Look out.
Fuller's on the bench. Price drop incoming.
I know it's not great for Supercoach, but this whole rule about bringing on one of these guys like late in the game, as soon as this rule came out and we were talking about it, he was the guy I thought about straight away. I actually can't wait to see him potentially come on with 20 minutes to go or something and just tear a game apart.
This blows my mind. So I don't understand why wouldn't I would have put I'm not Wolf and I'm not an NRL coach, but Averillo 14, Hammer to the centre, Fuller fullback. Like that sounds more better than having Schneider at the 14.
Yeah,
Like that
does.
sounds heaps better. I don't know. It makes no sense. But yeah, the second I see Trey Fuller playing big minutes, this will be the second I will be trying to get him into my team.
Yeah, and if anything happens from it, he comes in and plays these 15, 20-minute stints. I don't think it's going to be that small. He's just going to lose coin.
He's going to lose heaps.
It's
And
590.
yeah.
He's going to plummet. He's going to plummet
Yeah.
unless he does what Sharp did in 20 minutes, and just maintain
Likely.
that. Yeah, he could. He very well could. It'll just be explosive impacts in short bursts. Yeah.
South Sydney boys, there's a little bit to play out here because for the Rabbits, again, the injury-wise, straight away they've all of a sudden got this big list that's just, you're like, is this another year of this happening? So obviously Brandon Smith's out for a little bit. Adam Elliott's now got a calf issue as well. He's out for a few weeks. Humphries is obviously suspended. Jai Arrow's just completely unknown at this stage. He's got a 6-week program to see how his shoulder's starting to recover. Early reports by, I think it was the NRL physio mentioned that it's almost similar to what happened with Flegler, which obviously is not what we want to hear. Let's see what the reports are after this 6-week period and see if he can hopefully come back and finish his career the way he wants to, not with injury. But the flow-on effect here is the likes of, I guess, big forwards like Keon Koloamatangi and Cam Murray. There was probably a little bit of worry that they might not get the minutes. So there's a lot of people out there questioning that sort of thing. At the moment, I reckon, and looking at the bench, they're both locked on to be playing some really solid, good minutes. And I've started to look at Cam Murray very seriously.
Yeah.
Plus Keon. Keon's a must, in my opinion, now. I just can't make it work.
I think it's the issue of how many rabbits, It's one of those things. Like, all of us have Fafita. I think everybody in the game that plays should have Fafita. I really love Keon. I think Keon's just a freaking monster anyway, and he's always going to be good. I'm not as high on Murray yet as the others, to be honest. At 550, I still think he's going to outperform that. I just don't know how much more. I kind of just want to see how this minutes works. You got Duncan on the bench.
Yeah,
like that's a
I'm
huge one.
I was waiting to mention him.
Yeah, it was always coming. Tell us Duncan on the bench. My God. Poor bloke. He's the best forward, by a margin last year, next to Keon. Very harsh. Hubner, Kepi, that's pretty much it. There's 3 of them. Mamazelis did everything he could do last year, and then they've gone with Garlic. So, yeah, there's some things happening. But I think Keon's always still a good option. Fafita, great option. Murray, more wait and see.
Trav?
I like the Murray play. I really do. I think even with the recent injuries, the dude's just a freakish talent. So I think he's going to be absolutely fine. But the reason why I don't have him is because I already have a feeder and I have Koloamatangi in my front row. So I don't want to have too many, and particularly as forwards. So otherwise, then I'm playing my 2RF5 and 2RF6 when they're all out, and my front row forward 4. To try and, as reserves, to try and cover that for a round. And that one round would just absolutely decimate my whole year. So I just can't do it just yet. So I'm waiting for the bye. And then I'll be looking at the likes of Cam Murray in the hope that he has a good start to the year. That's the other reason why I don't have Latrell Mitchell too. And he has been, and as you both know, I've been very high on him, and so has a lot of people. He's very well owned, but I can't have that many people. So I've got Cody Walker. I just can't have that many Rabbidos.
Yeah, the buy's too soon to invest into 5 or 6, but from that point on, I think you can definitely do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we'll be pretty well rushing to get more of the bunnies in after the buy hits, and if you've already got 4. They're still incredible options, and that's why you have them. even though you're going to put them on the bench in a month's time. So, yeah, there's a lot of good players in this side, Supercoach relevance-wise anyway, especially even Jai Gray. We haven't even mentioned Jai Gray too, and he's another one that you could definitely run with. It's just so many bunnies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Watch and see, I guess, and you just got to make sure you get the right one. Similar to the Titans, you just don't want to own too many of these, especially with the bye coming up for the bunnies. So see what happens there. I guess just finally as well, is that basically that's it from the south side of things.
Yeah.
Jai Gray's a fullback. That's exciting. Going.
Yeah, it is good. I'm keen. It's my draft fullback. So good bloke.
Yeah. Just quickly, just go over some C options, boys. Do we go and just quickly give some captaincy thoughts?
For sure.
I think Harry Grant might be one. He averages 80 against the Eels. Seems to always cause them damage and seems to always score a try as well. So, what are we thinking?
Look, I'm not going to spend 800 and what is he, 26k on Nathan Cleary to not captain him, especially against against the Broncos. The last 2 games he's put on him, 129 and 121. Obviously this is round 1. It's quite different, but he's going to be my captain. I'm just going to run with it. I've got that 99 VC there that could have been the play. Hindsight, we'll see what happens at the end of the round. But yeah, I like Cleary for it. I also like Haas. I think a lot of people do. Yeah, it's just these primos really. But for me, I think Nath, I'll lock that in.
I keep forgetting you got Nathan Cleary. It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's fun.
Ponga and now Cleary. Oh my God.
It's good.
Currently, I've got the C on Haas. I like Kulamatangi playing in the middles with that rotation, big minutes. So I think that's a good play. I think Cleary is a great play for those that own Cleary. For those that have Hines, I think Hines against the Titans is a really good play.
Oh yeah.
And the other one I like is Herbie against the Rabbidos. So
It'll be against Whiten and Campbell, won't it?
Yep.
It's not ideal.
I don't have
but
a
it's
problem
Herbie.
with that.
Apparently, there's something about the weather too. It's gonna be
pissing down with rain.
Pissing down rain, so Herbie's just going to be running, and
he's oily as
and no one's going to grab him. So yeah, and I love that call too. But that's a bit of a pod play there. But yeah, there's a few options. This is going to be such a good week. Every game's going to be a good game. NRL, in all their wonderful wisdom, actually did a good thing for their round 1 matchups. To be fair.
Yep, very much
Love
so.
that.
I think that's it. I think that's us, boys. Obviously, structure a little bit differently to what it usually will be. Obviously, there's just not much numbers and things like that to go off. But try to do a few more of those talking point style as we move on, moving forward and discuss options at length. So in the comments, start letting us know what you want to hear, or if you've got questions and things like that, please put them in. We'll get to them live on air each and every week as well. We'll continue to read the YouTube comments and in the Legends group as well. If you're a member there, or if you're about to be a member there, each week we'll just put a comment section in, and if you want to ask a question, put them in there. We can do some things live on air and go through some of your headaches that you want some help with. But yeah, thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Trav. Thank you, everyone out there. Like, subscribe. Follow us all along the social media pages, all that sort of stuff that's free and gives us plenty of support. We absolutely love it. We will see you. Enjoy the weekend. I cannot wait. Enjoy tomorrow night and then all the way through to Sunday afternoon. And we'll be live on air Sunday night to talk all things that's happened through the weekend. Goodbye